Jeffrey Gardere is assistant professor of behavioral medicine at Touro College in New York. Professor, it is really difficult to imagine how parents could do this to their own children. Can you explain to us the mindset of those who do this?
Well, I think you have to separate them into two groups. You have one group of parents who very much are pathological, have rage issues and anger issues, and intentionally hurt their children. And then you have another group of parents who may be quite delusional, have mental health issues, and are not even aware of what it is that they're doing, and therefore whatever dysfunctional means of parenting their children, they see it as normal. And interestingly enough, the Turpins, when they were questioned, especially Anna Turpin, actually stated that she didn't know why she was being investigated and why there was this kind of a fuss being made.
So based on the information we have, what category would you put the Turpins in?
Well, of course, I haven't examined them, but from what I can see, at least on the part of the mother, perhaps of the father, again, this is armchair psychological quarterbacking, I think we're looking at the latter. I think we're looking at parents who may have been extremely delusional, and there may have been some sort of a religious component as part of the delusion when they state that God called upon them to have this number of children.
What do you make of the fact that no one called 911, no neighbors called police whatsoever to report anything suspicious? I mean, this is not a remote area in the middle of nowhere. This is an area, a nice neighborhood near Los Angeles.
Well, one of the things that we're finding out about this family from the relatives especially is that they weren't allowed to even see the children. So I suspect what may have been going on was a situation of where they hid the children as much as possible. The children didn't get to see that much daylight, especially since they were being homeschooled. And if the neighbors saw something that was untoward, perhaps it didn't rise to the level of calling the police or authorities, and then they began to adapt to whatever they saw as coming out of that home as perhaps being a little bit abnormal. And so as things became more and more abnormal, perhaps it didn't rise to the level in their minds. They had the tolerance where they felt, okay, maybe this family's a little bit strange, but they seem to be okay. And we call that adaptation in psychological terms.
And Professor, finally, talk to us about what some of these children will go through. The youngest to the oldest adult, 29 years old. Will they ever recover from this ordeal?
It will be very difficult. You're looking at physical issues, of course, malnutrition, stunted growth, and other metabolic issues, but you're also looking at more dangerous psychological issues, post-traumatic stress disorder for one, depression, anxiety, issues of trust, separation anxiety, and more than anything else, Stockholm syndrome, where these children may be very ambivalent. They know that they were tortured, they know what their parents did was wrong, but yet they probably still do love their parents, and they're going to have to deal with that cognitive dissonance. They will need a lifetime of therapy.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Jeffrey Gardere, thank you so much.